Welcome to Empowering Seniors. I'm your host, Katherine Ambrose. On this episode, we're talking about vision challenges. We're here at Envision, an amazing nonprofit, and we're going to visit with Karen Kendricks, an occupational therapist that works with patients on vision rehab. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, what is an occupational therapist doing in a low vision clinic?
That's a great question. Occupational therapy has the opportunity to work with so many patients in lots of different settings, but in low vision, we are working on what kind of activities do our patients have difficulty doing on a day-to-day basis. So when we think about occupation is anything that you may do throughout the day, whether it is reading, cooking, dressing. It could include work, if there's things that you're having difficulty to do at work, but also could include leisure activities, so sewing or even seeing music for the piano. So anything that's important, we try to figure out ways to accommodate and find devices or tools to help them continue that.
Okay, very good. And things that you do with your friends, family,
Absolutely.
hanging out with your grandchildren.
Oh, yes.
So all of these different activities that might be affected by low vision. And so they can come to Envision and find out what tools and people might be able to help them. So what is vision rehab? How is that different than going to your eye doctor and buying prescription glasses?
Majority of our patients, when they come to see us, they have been to the eye doctor and they've been told their glasses can no longer be made any stronger, but they're still having difficulty seeing to do things throughout the day. So they get referred to us and we can do a full assessment to determine what type of magnification they may need to be able to read the newspaper or read their medicine bottle. We can also look at lighting. We can look at other adaptive equipment or assistive technology. There's all kinds of things that can be done on the computer or the smartphones to enlarge it, to make it bigger so they're still able to participate in all of those things that normal glasses cannot correct anymore.
Do you feel that most physicians or eye doctors or clinics know to refer to Envision?
I think that we have made great progress in educating our optometry and ophthalmology programs throughout the city and even the region. We go out and we do a lot of outreach and education so they understand what we do. And I think we do have a really great referral base, but sometimes it's still important for the patients to advocate for themselves and say, you know what, I'm having trouble with this. Is there somebody else that maybe can help? And then many times they will make that referral.
How often are people surprised by all of the tools and maybe systems or techniques that you have and what an impact it can make?
Oh my gosh, almost every single day. I see patients every single day, and many times they say, I didn't know if I wanted to come. I wasn't sure what this was going to bring, but I'm so glad I came. I didn't realize that this was even out there, that it was available. So I see it on a daily basis.
So what kind of impact do you think that you're having on individual patients sometimes?
I think being able to maintain independence is so important for our patients. If they have a family member or they have good family support, many times they can help with things around the house, but many of our patients live alone. They may be widows, widowers. And so they're trying to figure out, how can I still manage my medicine? How can I fix myself a meal? And so allowing them to continue to be able to do that is so important.
I would imagine that family members, spouses sometimes work to get their family members here to try to see if there's help available.
Absolutely. Majority of our patients come with family members, which is great because the more ears, more eyes hear, the more important it is, because we go over a lot of stuff, especially during our first appointment. It's a lot of things to remember, and it's hard to think of everything that you're having difficulty with. Just think of anytime you go to the doctor, you always forget to mention that one thing. So having family members there to help, like, oh, Mom, you were having trouble doing this. Did you remember that? So I think it's really important to have family available if they can come.
So what are some of your most popular tools that people can utilize?
Technology has changed so much over the years. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and the lights on the magnifiers have changed significantly over the years. So we do a lot of lighted magnifiers, and magnifiers can come in a wide range of magnification. So anything from 2x to 15 times magnification. There's a huge range. The other big thing is electronic or digital magnification. Mm-hmm. You think about how easy it is for you to take your phone and take a picture of something and zoom in on it. But we have digital magnifiers that also do that, and it much better quality cameras that allow people to use the device to read the things or see the things that are important to them. Mm-hmm. But also the great thing with digital magnification is it can grow with them as well. So if their vision declines, these digital magnifiers have the ability to increase magnification later on.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about television. Mm-hmm. People's ability to see what's on the screen.
Yes.
Maybe to read captions. Mm-hmm. So what are some of your favorite tips to share with people about watching TV at home?
We have a couple main things that we look at. So 2 things I ask every patient when I see them is, how big is your TV and how far away are you sitting from it? So one thing is you can move up as close to the TV as you want. It won't hurt your eyes. That was an old myth, so you don't have to worry about that. So sometimes changing where you sit in the living room or moving a chair up closer, that may fix the problem. We also have special, we call them TV glasses. So they're magnification glasses for watching television that work kind of like binoculars. We like to go into the homes if possible, mm-hmm. and we can go out to their home, have them try the TV glasses, try different sitting proximity, and see if we can find something that is easier for them. And sometimes it's something as simple as checking the TV settings to see if you can enlarge closed captioning, seeing if their remote control has a microphone so they can change channels by using voice versus trying to see the remote control. So lots of different things.
Is that very difficult to learn how to do that? And I would suppose that every TV or remote or services, they're all different. Is that part of what you sometimes do when you go to their home?
Yeah, sometimes we can explore that or help the family members explore the accessibility that's built into the TV, because it does take a little bit of research and trying to figure out what works. But then you also have the things that can carry over from one patient to another, like moving up closer to the TV. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
How many people work at Envision? Do you have any kind of idea?
Our clinic is fairly small, but Envision is a big corporation. So in addition to our low vision clinic, we also have a manufacturing plant where we employ people that are blind and visually impaired. And we also have outreach and education. I believe the number of people is over 400, 500, but I'm kind of guessing on that number.
Wow, so I'd really like to dig into that deeper. So let's get with Director Jessica Clark and find out more about Envision and all their programs. And to help us explore that further, we have Director Jessica Clark. Jessica, thank you so much for being on Empowering Seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
It sounds like Envision is huge, and what you do here as Director of Envision's Rehabilitation Center is a big, big job. So please enlighten us a little bit about what all you do. We're in this cute apartment here. What's the purpose of this?
So we are sitting in Independence Boulevard. That's what we call it back here. We have sort of a mocked up apartment, grocery store, and restaurant where we can use this as a training facility for all of our patients. We can do kitchen skills, teach how to use magnification and lighting to read your prescription bottles, that sort of thing. This is an absolutely fantastic space, and we love to use it. I will tell you, however, the majority of our appointments with our patients happen out in the community. We love to get into people's homes or train them in the areas where they live their lives. And so when that's possible, that is what we do. But when it is not possible, we have this great situation where we can do all of the same kind of training in this environment.
And when you're doing training in an environment like this or in their personal home, what are you assessing and what are you helping them do?
So, as Karen had mentioned earlier, a lot of this is very independent and it's specific to each patient. But we have a lot of services here, not just occupational therapy. We do have physical therapy as well. We provide assistive technology training, so we use that to teach people really extensively how to use their phones as pieces of equipment to aid in their daily lives. We have orientation and mobility training, which teaches people how to use the white canes and to navigate within their homes, but also from homes to places they need to go, like the grocery store or their job.
And so, orientation in their own home, what are some of the challenges that people sometimes face as their vision is changing?
That is complex. For everybody, it can be different depending on the type of visual impairment that they are experiencing. Macular degeneration provides a different experience for a person from glaucoma. So, a lot of what eye disease a person has plays into what services they need and what happens in their home or work environments to make their lives easier. For example, as vision declines, contrast becomes a big thing. So if we're in people's homes and they have dark brown carpet and a dark brown coffee table, and they continuously run up against that table and bump it and potentially create harmful situations, one way to help is to try to create greater contrast. So putting darker things on lighter surfaces or lighter things on darker surfaces. Mm-hmm. This applies a lot in kitchens, even to just the kind of plates you might set on your table. It's hard to see food that's dark on a dark plate on a dark table. But if you switch that, put a light plate on a dark table, now a person is more able to see where mm-hmm. their food is, which mm-hmm. is a great beginning to even being able to eat your meal.
Sure. And knowing where you can put your cup without it falling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you didn't see the edge of the table. So maybe a white plate on a dark table, light flooring.
Yes.
Or paint that coffee table white or replace it.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of stuff that is hard to work with people on if you can't get into their homes. So that is why so much of our services happen outside of this facility.
So sometimes people are probably shy letting people come in to do in-home consults. So how are you able to win over that trust so that you can get in there to really do the most good?
Absolutely. And who would blame them having strangers come into your house, especially if you're in a stage in your life where you might already be experiencing some fear or depression. Losing a sense is a big adjustment. I think one way that we combat that problem is the majority of the initial appointments happen in the clinic. Okay. So it is difficult to do assessments and have all of the tools available for assessments. To take those out, we can when that's really necessary. But we start to build that relationship with someone, well, actually, on their first phone call. And then once they come in for their initial assessments, we start to build relationships with those persons. And once they meet, the people at the front desk and the therapists, a lot of that fear goes away. And honestly, they're so glad to have the help. And when they, understand that we're here to help and are extremely knowledgeable, usually we're welcomed into the home.
Yeah, and that it's not about judgment, that when professionals come into the home, we're not judging. We're there to really make their life better.
Absolutely. Everything we do here comes from a place of care. And so I think that once they understand that and that we want for them, whatever it is they want for them, they welcome us.
Do you ever have people that think, oh, I can't have anybody over to my home because it's not clean, or I've got these issues, and so they're maybe embarrassed about the condition of their home?
Of course, those things happen. And sometimes people have a lot of pets, or, to be honest, there have been hoarding situations. And occasionally that person doesn't want us to come into their home, and we're not going to push something that someone's not comfortable with. So back to this great area that we have, they can come here and we can do training that they can then take back to their own home if that is what they choose to do.
So they're completely empowered to be the decision maker and how they want to proceed.
100%.
Now, what does all this cost? How does that work? How are people able to access this?
Some of our services are billable to insurance. So occupational therapy and physical therapy, we can bill to insurance. We are here to decrease barriers to our service, not create some. So if finances is an issue, we have financial assistance. We are, constantly on the lookout for grants and other funding that are good support systems for us so that we can provide these services and the devices at low cost or no cost to patients when that is necessary.
That's tremendous, and what a load of relief too.
Absolutely.
To know that you work with each person individually to figure out your funding, or it's something that you're going to work through.
Yes.
To take care of them.
My immediate response and what I try to instill in the team is that the answer is yes until it becomes a no, which we haven't come across that yet.
Okay, that's
so
good.
The answer is yes.
The yes people at Envision. When would you say it's time for people to reach out to seek resources like this?
What I've noticed is that most people wait probably a little too long. When people walk through our door or make that phone call, they are in a situation that they thought they would never be in, hoped they would never be in, and now don't know what to do about it. When a person is first diagnosed with progressive eye diseases, is a good time to start to establish a relationship with us so that as eye disease progresses, if it does, we're here that whole time with you from the beginning, through the rest of the course of your life to help you as things change. Of course, we're glad to see you at any point, but I do think that coming sooner than later just is a benefit to the patient.
And how are you able to help some people maybe continue on with the passions that they have? Maybe it's their career, maybe it's reading. Paint the picture for us a little bit about what a difference you can make for people so they can continue on with their life.
Envision, whether it's the rehabilitation center or the organization as a whole, our entire point of existing is to empower and create independence in people. And the clinic is so closely connected to other services that we have in the organization, whether that is trying to get people training that they need that would make it more possible for them to do a job or get back to working if they've lost that ability, whether that is just providing the services that we have here in the clinic that makes it able for you to sew again or bake cookies or make a cake for your grandchild. It doesn't matter what the person is wanting to do or what level of visual impairment they come in with. We are here to connect them to the resources that enable them to be able to do that again. Well, eyesight might be on the decline, and there's nothing you can really do about that, but it doesn't have to impact your life in a negative way, and so that's what we're here for, and that's what we're all about, helping you get back to everything you want from your life.
And you have research programs, you have support groups, just all kinds of things. So reach out and find out what you have. And plus maybe programs for your family members too, grandchildren. What do you have available for children?
So we have an early childhood development center that is amazing. It has spots for sighted and non-sighted children. We believe that the earlier inclusion happens, the more people learn about different disabilities and impairments, and the more tolerant our society becomes by knowing more about each other.
Because low vision doesn't just apply to aging. It can be with someone throughout their whole life, no matter where they're at. You're here for them. And you also can be a connector for similar organizations around the country.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And now we'll get back to our conversation with Karen. Karen, thank you so much. That was fascinating. So what are the takeaways for the viewer today? I imagine that sometimes people are hesitant to come in, or they might be facing a little depression or embarrassment about their vision challenges. So what would you like them to know?
I think the biggest thing is I want them to know that they're not alone. We are here as a team to help them. Our goals is to find out what they're having difficulty with, to help them continue to be part of anything that they do throughout the day. Also to know that we have great support programs as well to look at the mental health aspects of it. We have a monthly support group that meets. We have an art program that also is just great for fellowship and looking at those mental health challenges through art. So we have lots of great opportunities to help them work through the challenges that they're facing.
What do you think really slows people down in taking action and coming here to seek that help?
I think it's just not knowing what they don't know. You know, they don't know what's out there, what's available. I can't tell you the number of patients that have said, I didn't even know this was here. How is this in Wichita, Kansas? And I didn't even know that it was here. So take that first step, come and hear what we have to say, see what we have to show you, because I promise there's probably something that we can do to try to help you.
I feel like we're really lucky here in Kansas that we have Envision. So if someone has a loved one or they're finding out about this topic someplace else in the country, what should they be looking for if they want to access programming like this?
There's different low vision programs throughout the country. I have a great network of low vision providers that I network with through different Facebook groups or just conferences. So it's not unusual for somebody to call and say, hey, is there somebody like you in Denver? Or is there somebody like you in South Carolina?
Okay.
We can always send out a message and try to find out if there's any providers. But you want to just try to find a holistic approach. Try to find where they can provide that comprehensive vision rehab to address all the needs that the person may have.
Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate you being on the show.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching. If you have questions on this topic or anything that we cover, please reach out to us at empoweringseniors@kpts.org, or you can call us at 316-686-4500. I'm Katherine Ambrose, and I'll see you next time on Empowering Seniors.